How's it going, Kyler?
What's going on? How you doing?
Just
You got a coffee on your pants.
You did what?
Kind of looked rough at 7:15 this morning when I woke up.
Me. You'll get lip gloss on you.
Can you see my feet?
I'm worried about your socks situation.
I think every dream and calling matures and it develops. And I think that's why some of us get so frustrated and discouraged, is because we think the calling is meant to be beautifully packaged the moment it arrives at our door. And instead it's a box with all the pieces and some screws. And there's a part of this where, like, as you're putting it together over the course of your life and over time, where it's starting to really begin to take shape. I was a youth pastor, and I remember like 18-year-old kids walking in, 17-year-old kids going, man, I want to get into ministry. And at the time, this is 20 years ago, at the time, what that meant to them and what it could only mean to them, and this is the part I struggled with, was that it meant they had to preach. And I just remember thinking, like, yeah, you could preach if that's what you feel like that's really where the Lord is calling you. But maybe you're going to be like the most amazing producer or most amazing business person that's ever lived, or that whatever that's come out of your family, or you're going to be an incredible parent, or whatever it is. And so that's when the idea of going, hey, I want the church to be a place where people are discovering their calling. And that doesn't mean that the end result is that they're a really good usher on Sunday, or that they're, you know what I mean? Like they're great at, it might mean that helps them form some things, whatever, but there's a Monday through Saturday that the church is meant to exist in. 10 years ago, we had just really recently taken over the church, or we're about to take over the church. We were still in the Mid-Cities area. And I remember walking into this place in Southern Cal, of course. That's where all the inspiration lives. And it was like this mall, but it was like this boutique mall. So like it was all these smaller 200, 300, 400 square foot spaces that the walls could move. And you could tell everyone in there was not like an established person. It was like, it was not a brand that you knew. It was all these people like trying to get started. And then they had this really cool, great coffee shop and an open seating area. And at the one end, they had a theater. And I just remember walking in, and I don't know why, but I remember thinking, this is what a church should look like. People taking a shot, giving it a go in a community, and where Jesus is central. When we tell people from a pulpit to, hey, go and use the resources and the gifts you have to reach your city and your neighborhood, and then we've got 15,000 square feet of space and it's never touched during the week, that feels a little disingenuous. We don't see Jesus by always having to put like a verse on the wall.
Right.
We see Jesus because we have fixed our eyes upon him. We've been shaped in a community, and we're living out our calling. And in that, people are seeing something they hadn't seen before.
I think that this can really be like it almost sound like so cheesy when I say this. Kind of like a Batman beacon. Hey, like C3 Fort Worth, like we're casting the light over the city.
We've made so many friends with so many groups that are just from different walks of life, and they all come together, different political views and everything else, but it works here. Like you come here, you see Jesus, you see God through all these people and all that they do.
We finally have a place for like everyone's individual dreams to be served in a way. We're able to use this building to serve the community more than just on a Sunday. They might never come here, maybe they live states away, but hopefully that we can, be a light and show them Jesus like we've been shown here.
We're in a new neighborhood, a new area with new types of people, different walks of life, and I want them to see this place as a refuge for them. Because it's been for us, but we've been so many different places that I'm so glad we're able to like stick to this neighborhood and be an inspiration to this neighborhood. I also would love to see just the change in diversity, like different, like I said, different walks of life, different colors of people, different ages of people. Like I want to see that explode in this place. And I think that this is where it's going to happen.
I get emotional about it. I have dreams in my heart that have long been there, but I didn't know what they were. And being here with a group of people that seeks the best and sees the best of others, I think has just really, it's really taken me in a different path. I mean, I've been around the sun a few times, okay, Jesse? And I've been a Christian for a very long time, and so I've learned a lot, but this is a different part of me. a different part of my journey, and I'm excited, and even I'm gonna go into a new phase of life. And I think David and I found C3 just in time. I mean, I could probably ask people in church, raise your hand if you feel like you found C3 just in the nick of time, and I bet I wouldn't be alone in that.
In some ways, I do feel like this space is a place for people to come in and maybe just get a little oomph,
Yeah.
to get a little bit of encouragement, to say, you know what, I don't have to give up. You know,
Yeah.
I can. There are people, you know, that want the best for me in this city, and there is a space where I can not spend a fortune, but stir up the giftings that I want to do, and whatever it is. I don't think you can do something like plant a church without the people involved and God's voice involved.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, though it's been a long journey, we've had an incredible community that's surrounded us.
We want this place to be a place where people are taking a chance on something they feel like is in their heart. And so we want a gallery because we want artists who've never had an opportunity to show their work
Totally.
to have a wall for it, and to have some people celebrate it, and to discover something about, oh, well, that part was good and that part wasn't, or that, you know, whatever. We want people to be able to come in and record a podcast because they really have a heart for it, but they can't afford the all the stuff that comes with it. But we've got a space. We want people to come in and co-work together because we want them to hear the stories of each other. We want to do master classes or courses or whatever you want to call them on how to start a nonprofit, or how to own a production company, or how to be a great dad or a great mom, or, you know, we want to be able to tell the stories of people who have come through this space, whether it be on a Sunday morning or a Monday afternoon or a Saturday morning or a Tuesday night, and have had incredible conversation, or have been equipped in something they've just been curious about for a long time, or had a chance to like put their calling to work and put their giftings to just put it out there. I just can't wait to hear the stories of those people and going, well, how did that happen for you? Well, this church made room for me. This church created a space where I could take a chance. And that's what this is. I mean, this space for us is a space where people are going to, yes, gather for church, an amazing church on Sundays.
Yeah, really.
Absolutely going to happen. We're already doing that.
Yep.
But I think what it really is going to be is a place where the calling and the purpose of people is built and discovered and equipped.
Yes, and we get to do it together.
And we get to do it together.
That's awesome.